I'm Dave Drexler. On this segment of Inside Art, we preview the 2019 edition of San Diego Film Week, April 11th through 20th at the Museum of Photographic Arts in Balboa Park, Landmark Theater Hillcrest, and the Digital Gym Cinema in North Park. The festival features a wide variety of locally produced films, along with filmmaking workshops, an opening night gala, and more. Joining me to talk about San Diego Film Week is Jody Seeley, founder and president of the producing organization Film Consortium San Diego, who's also on the faculty at City College, where Inside Art is produced. Jody, it's good to have you back on the program.
Thanks for having me back.
What distinguishes this festival from others of its ilk around San Diego is the fact that it's mostly local films that you're featuring, right?
Yeah, we're showing over 100 local films, and most festivals focus more on international films or very niche genre films, such as like Asian Film Festival or Latino Film Festival, Horror Film Festival. We're primarily local, but we also incorporate films from those festivals into our San Diego Film Week.
So this is, I believe, the third iteration of this festival. Is that correct?
Yes.
What have you learned from the previous two that you've applied to do in this third run of it?
It's a big learning curve there, but we've learned, to do a lot more upfront work with each festival and the screening blocks and make sure everything is set up. And we've also learned that, incorporating more films from other festivals really adds value to the program, and it also helps us show local films to a wider audience, which is really our goal.
What are some of the trends you're seeing in this kind of independent filmmaking on this level?
Well, here in San Diego, actually, I'm noticing there's a lot more movement into the feature film arena. And a lot of the short filmmakers that we've shown in the past this year are working on bigger projects and trying to do, feature films and feature documentaries. And that's really exciting for us because really that was our vision out of the gate was, get everyone working together on these shorter films here in San Diego and showcase them, but also get them to build their network and their abilities to produce larger projects that can go and get international distribution.
It is just amazing to me that with the digital revolution comes all these tools that are available to everyone to tell their story.
Yeah, it's really kind of incredible. I mean, there's downsides to it in that there's now a lot more. You have to sort of there's a lot more curation needed. But exactly what you said. The Film Consortium, when it started, I was teaching, and I was noticing, I had been doing films myself for over almost a decade at that point, and I had noticed everything that was changing. I'm like, man, these lights are getting lighter. The technology is getting faster and easier and cheaper. The ability to get financing for a film is changing. There's new opportunities for that. Distribution, there's new opportunities for that. And I thought, one day you'll be able to make a film anywhere. And, we can all make films on our phone and we can all make films on a small scale. But to make something really large, like a feature film that is successful in an independent way, it is far more challenging even now, if not more challenging now than it was. But the capability on the creative side is really, really opened up to everybody.
So aside from being a showcase of films here in San Diego, how does San Diego Film Week support the actual filmmaker?
Well, we're about 6 years old, although it's the third annual film week. For the first couple of years, we had short little screenings, like weekend screenings. I think we called it Fall Film Festival and Winter Film Festival. And a lot of that was meant to just get everyone in the same room who want to be in this industry here in San Diego, who are in this industry here in San Diego, and get them to produce content, work with each other, see what else is being produced, connect with each other. And that's been really successful for us. So really, there's a couple reasons for this event. We're showing local films. We're showing them from different colleges. We're showing them from different film festivals. We're showing them from different organizations that produce films here with students or with adults. And the vision has really been, for other filmmakers and the community to come out and see all the great talent that there is here and support it. And if you're a filmmaker, to come out and see all the great talent that is here and network and connect with those people so that your next project is just a little bit better.
So before we go through the individual categories of films being screened, the whole event begins April 11th with your San Diego Film Week opening gala. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so the opening gala this year is a little different than before. We are showcasing, we're actually highlighting a couple important people in our community, and We haven't announced that yet, who they are, but we're having a reception to celebrate a couple of people in our community who've really done exceptional things to support the community that we have. And then we also give out some of the awards that we don't give out at our San Diego Film Awards. We feel like, one acting award or two acting awards a year is not quite enough given the quantity of actors that there are in San Diego and the quality of those folks. So we give out like an emerging actor award. We give out what we call an A-list acting award for people who are really putting their time in and successfully in local film productions. When I first started this many years ago, there weren't a lot of actors around. Now there's a lot of actors around. But, some of these actors are in 3, 4, or 5 films during film week. That means that they've committed to working here within our city and trying to build what we have up to be something better. And that is something I feel like should be recognized. And that's what we do at that opening party. Alongside that, we preview what the week is going to look like. We have some, music, food, and just sort of enjoy the night as a group.
And where will that take place?
That's going to take place at the Sunset Temple in North Park.
Now, as far as the film screenings themselves throughout San Diego Week, they're going to be at 3 different theaters, the Museum of Photographic Arts in Balboa Park, as well as the Digital Gym Cinema in North Park and Landmark Theater Hillcrest. So let's look at some of the categories you've got here of your film screenings. Maybe you can tell us about those.
So yeah, we break up our short films into, because a lot of short films are submitted. We break those up into relevant categories and genres. A great way to showcase film. So those are just I think about 10 short comedy and romance films produced here in San Diego, as well as from some of our other film festivals. And I think it's a great way to kick off the screenings because it's fun, it's light. There's not a whole lot of darkness going on there, especially in the film storytelling. So I think it's just a fun way to kick off our whole event.
What's also fun is to see your places in your hometown that are depicted, Oh, I know that little store, that sort of thing in all these films.
Yeah, we actually give out an award we call it the Spirit of San Diego. And that's for films that really highlight San Diego in their, locations and story. Because you're like, oh, I ate there yesterday. It's kind of fun to see that.
How about a few of the more serious-minded documentaries, short documentaries, and human rights kind of films?
Yeah, we've got a really great block called the Human Rights Block, and that has some incredible documentaries in it. One about human trafficking, another about the Black Lives Matter movement. And really, that one I'm excited about. We actually haven't had that in the past. The quality or the types of films that came in, we had quite a few of them that came in on that level and that type of storytelling. So we put them in a block and really excited to showcase them. Challenging, and interesting and compelling, educational, and just made by some really great filmmakers here in San Diego.
And aside from the human rights category, you have other short documentaries separate to that.
Yeah, we have a couple short documentary blocks. This year we got quite a few short documentaries submitted on all sorts of topics, and from all sorts of great filmmakers here in San Diego. And we had one called Scrojo, who is a local artist who does poster art and is really just a popular graphic designer. We have one about that I really enjoyed, even though I'm not a surfer. Just the documentary is so well made. It was called The Forgotten Archipelago, which is about a group of guys who are in South Atlantic on a trip to basically surf some really rare waves in places that haven't been well traversed in that area. So we've got a lot of great stuff. We got quite a few about music. We've got one from the Italian Film Festival about South by Southwest and the evolution of Italian music. And yeah, just lots of interesting short documentaries from all over. We have one with this great group in town called Options for All, and they work with autistic adults and teach them how to make films. And there's one in here called Operation Get the Hell Out of California, which I love the title of. And it's about an autistic kid and his process in getting to this program. So it's interesting, compelling, really great content.
Tell me about the student films that you're including.
So many student films. Again, more student films submitted this year than ever before, from all across San Diego: City College, UCSD, SDSU, UC San Marcos, as well as in the high schools. San Diego Unified School District submitted a few films. So, we have quite a few. We've got documentaries in there, a lot of short films. That actually was one of our more popular screenings last year. It sold out, and we had to have a second version, a second screening of it at the Digital Gym. So I'm excited to see how that turns out. But, all sorts of different types of stories, dark comedies.
You even have action sci-fi films going.
Yeah, we actually had so many. Normally we put that all into one sort of horror, action, sci-fi, drama, late night screening. But we got so many action sci-fis that we put them all in their own block. And that one is a lot of fun. It's a couple Star Wars films, Star Wars fan films in there, a couple animations. This really great film called G.I. Jose that was from the GI Film Festival, San Diego. That's about immigration. It's just really wonderfully made. And a couple of fun sort of fighting, movies, comedies that just to round it out.
Now, there's also a showcase of films that are going to be presented on public television locally. Maybe you can tell us about those. That's a little separate category.
Yeah, we've got one block for public television, and it's a couple different documentaries in there. One is about Judy the Beauty from the
Big Kitchen Cafe.
Big Kitchen Cafe, yeah. They made a documentary about her. And she's a very popular, very kind woman who has done a lot for our community. So they made a documentary about her, and we'll be playing that, as long with San Diego Gay Bar History is a part of that as well. I was actually at the premiere of that documentary at the Film Out Festival. And then on top of that, there's another really sweet documentary. It's called Rounding Third, and that is about a group of elderly softball players and how they have formed these teams and go out and as sort of a social as well as for exercise and like socializing. And it's just sweet. It's sweet to see this kind of wonderful group of people work together on this. We're all going to become older and have to contend with that. And it's just wonderful to see this lovely story around that.
Where can people get more information and tickets to any of the events?
Well, our website, looking great nowadays, by the way, sdfilmweek.com. And if you click under schedule, they'll tell you everything that's happening. If you're looking for a specific film or want to look through all the films, there's a film page as well where every film is represented. Once you look in the films, you'll get to see what they're all about. And everything's pretty well split up into interesting blocks. If you're interested in, like you said, sci-fi or action, or if you're interested in comedy or horror, we have different blocks for those types of films. Some people really love watching documentaries, so got a nice couple blocks of that. So you just got to get in there and see what you're interested in and come out and support and local film and watch all the great work that's been produced by San Diego and some of the other festivals in the last year.
So there is one other event that is part of this, and it's the award show.
Yeah, so we're having our 6th annual San Diego Film Awards. This is, the 3rd annual San Diego Film Week. So as you can imagine, we started that several years before we started Film Week. And this year we're actually bringing the two events together, and this will be the closing event of Film Week. It'll be where we give out all of our awards, and it will be at this beautiful Park nightclub in downtown San Diego. Which is a new venue for us, which is really exciting for us. And actually, it's going to air on public television later on in the year. And you can check on sdfilmweek.com, and that information will be on there when we have it all available.
Sounds great, and we wish you all the best with the 3rd annual San Diego Film Week. I've been speaking with Jody Silly, who is the producer of the event with Film Consortium San Diego. Jody, thanks again for joining us on Inside Art.
Thanks so much for having me.
San Diego Film Week runs April 11th through 20th at the Museum of Photographic Arts in Balboa Park, Landmark Theater Hillcrest, and the Digital Gym Cinema in North Park. For festival tickets and more information, you can visit sdfilmweek.com. Inside Art is made possible with support from the members of Jazz 88.3. Replays and extended versions of every Inside Art broadcast are available online at jazz88.org/Inside Art. Again, my thanks to Jody Silly and Morgan Hallett. For Jazz 88.3, I'm Dave Drexler. Join me again next Saturday evening at 5:30 for another edition of Inside Art.